So you've got this killer idea for a web app, something that could really shake things up. But you're not a developer. How do you actually get it built? Well, you're in the right spot. Today we're going to walk through exactly how to find the right technical partner to bring that big idea to life.
It all starts with that spark, doesn't it? That moment you see a problem and you just know you have the solution. You can picture the app, how it works, how it's going to be a total game changer for people. But the thing standing between that vision and reality is...
And then, boom, reality check. An idea is one thing, but turning it into a functioning, scalable piece of software, that takes a whole different set of skills. For so many founders and business leaders, this is the first big wall you hit.
So how do we get over that wall? Here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why getting an expert team is such a smart move. Then we'll take a quick tour of the cool stuff they can actually build. After that, we'll look at the different ways you can partner up. We'll pull back the curtain on the process and the price, and we'll finish up with a super handy checklist for picking the perfect partner.
Let's kick things off. Think about it like you're building your dream house. You wouldn't just hire a few folks who know how to use a hammer, right? No way. You'd bring in an architect, a general contractor, a trusted crew. Hiring a web development partner is exactly the same idea. It's a strategic decision to make sure what you're building is solid from the ground up.
So what do you really get out of this partnership? Well, think of it in two buckets. First, the product itself. You get an app that's built just for you, that's scalable, and that won't crash the second you get popular. Then there's the process. It's flexible, it's transparent, and you get support even after you launch. It all adds up to getting way more value for your money.
And you know, when you're betting on your big idea, experience is just everything. A number like over 2,500 projects delivered, that's not just a number. That's a mountain of proof. It means they've seen it all, they've solved problems just like yours hundreds of times before. And that, right there, seriously lowers your risk.
Okay, now for the really fun part. What can one of these expert teams actually build? Let's take a look at some of the seriously powerful and modern apps that you could be creating. First up, AI-powered web apps. And look, this isn't science fiction anymore. We're talking about using real artificial intelligence to do incredible things, like giving your customers personalized recommendations they'll actually love, or spotting fraud before it ever becomes a problem. This is about solving real-world business challenges.
Next up, a big one, e-commerce. A top-tier partner can build you a full-on online store, and I mean the whole shebang. We're talking secure payment systems, inventory management that actually works, and a checkout experience that's so smooth, your customers will love it. And you can see how this stuff makes a huge difference in the real world. I mean, just look at this. The CEO of Box Foods saying they were glad they chose their partner to build their food delivery product. That's a complex idea, and the right team made it happen.
And finally, let's talk about something called Progressive Web Apps, or PWA. Now, these are a total game changer. Basically, it's a website that looks, feels, and acts just like a native app on your phone. You can get push notifications, it can work when you're offline, all without anyone ever having to go to an app store. It's the best of both worlds.
And that's really what makes PWAs so amazing. Your users get that fast, smooth, app-like feeling, but right inside their web browser. And for you, that means it's way easier for them to access your app, which leads to way more engagement. It's a win-win.
All right, so you're on board. You need a partner. The next big question is, what does that relationship actually look like? The great news here is that it's not one size fits all. There are super flexible models that are designed to fit whatever your project needs and whatever your budget is.
This little table breaks down the main options pretty well. If you have a huge, long-term project, a dedicated team on a monthly plan makes a lot of sense. If your project is smaller, with a really clear scope, a fixed price model gives you that budget certainty. If you're still figuring things out, an hourly model gives you all the flexibility you need. You can even mix and match with a hybrid model, or just bring someone in to fill a gap on your current team. The point is, you've got options. You just need to find the one that fits.
So what's it actually like to get started? And, the million-dollar question, what's it going to cost? Let's demystify that whole journey from the very first conversation all the way to your launched product.
Look, any pro partner should have a process that's this clear and this transparent. It always starts with them understanding your goals. From there, they should give you a short list of developers they've already vetted, and then you get to interview them. Once you pick your team and your model, they get onboarded, and you kick things off with constant communication the whole way. No surprises.
And what about that price tag? It's not some mystery. The cost really boils down to 4 key things: how complex your app is, how experienced the developers are, if you need any special tech or tools, and of course, how fast you need it done. Once you understand those 4 levers, managing your budget becomes a whole lot easier.
We have covered a ton of ground, so let's wrap it all up into one last super actionable section, a simple checklist of questions you should ask any potential partner before you even think about signing a contract. This is your cheat sheet right here. You want to make sure they're not just giving you some cookie-cutter solution. Can they handle the whole project? Is the code they write built to grow with you? And you've got to demand clear communication, flexible models, and, this is the big one, proof that they've done this before and done it well. If they can say yes to all of these, you are in a very, very good place.
And that brings us to the end. I want to leave you with just one final question to really focus your thinking. If you had to strip everything else away, what is the one single feature your app must have to be a success? Figure that out first. That's your starting point. You're already on the right track. Thanks for joining me.